In the intricate tapestry of global relations, the United States image is shifting. Once dominant, now increasingly scrutinized. In 2025, global attitudes toward Americans are changing. Here are the top 10 countries where Americans are least welcome. Our journey begins in Denmark, a country often celebrated for its picturesque landscapes, innovative design, and famously high quality of life. Nestled in the heart of Scandinavia, Denmark has long been admired for its progressive social policies and commitment to sustainability, making it a beacon for those seeking a harmonious blend of tradition and modernity. The streets of Copenhagen are alive with cyclists, and the city's dedication to green energy is evident everywhere you look. Denmark is famed for its progressive values, from its world-class healthcare and education systems to its leadership in renewable energy and environmental stewardship. Historically, Denmark and the United States have shared a close and friendly alliance, built on mutual respect and shared democratic ideals. For decades, the two nations stood side by side, collaborating on everything from security to culture, and Danish society often looked to America as a model of opportunity and innovation. But today, that relationship has cooled considerably. According to recent surveys, 74% of Danes now hold a negative view of the United States. A dramatic shift that would have been unthinkable just a generation ago. This statistic reflects a profound change in public sentiment, signaling a growing distance between the two countries. The reasons for this shift are complex. Disagreements over international policy, frustration with America's stance on climate change, and diverging social values have all contributed to a sense of disillusionment. Danish media frequently highlight these differences, and public protests reflect a society increasingly at odds with its former ally. The Danish response is reserved but firm. Where Americans once found open arms and easy conversation, they now encounter polite skepticism and a certain emotional distance. Locals may still be courteous, but the warmth that once defined Danish-American interactions has noticeably faded. This erosion of soft power is a powerful reminder that even the closest of allies can drift apart when values and priorities no longer align. The symbolic distance between the two nations is growing, and the sense of camaraderie that once existed is now tinged with uncertainty. The high negative rating reflects more than just political disagreement. It reveals a deep disappointment among Danes, a sense that America has strayed from the ideals they once admired. Many Danes now question whether the two countries still share the same vision for the future. In Denmark, the welcome mat is quietly being rolled up. The gestures are subtle. A doormat rolled away, a door gently closed, a sign of welcome taken down. But the message is clear. The relationship has changed. As we look ahead to 2025, Denmark tops our list as the least welcoming nation for Americans, a striking reversal for a country once known for its openness and hospitality. The Scandinavian chill is real, and it signals a new era in transatlantic relations. Next, we cross to Sweden, a country often admired for its progressive values, breathtaking landscapes, and high standard of living. Sweden, nestled in the heart of Scandinavia, has long been seen as a beacon of social democracy and a model for global leadership. Its cities, from Stockholm to Gothenburg, are known for their innovation, inclusivity, and commitment to the common good. Yet, beneath this reputation lies a growing unease. Sweden, another Scandinavian nation celebrated for its robust welfare state and international diplomacy, is experiencing a shift in public sentiment toward the United States. Recent surveys reveal that 63% of Swedes now express negative sentiment toward Americans, a significant increase from previous years, and a statistic that has caught the attention of both policymakers and the public. Swedes, who are generally well-informed and deeply principled, often cite concerns about climate policy, global cooperation, and the direction of American politics as reasons for their changing attitudes. Issues like environmental protection and social justice are at the forefront of Swedish society. Many Swedes feel that the U.S. has not lived up to its responsibilities on these fronts, fueling disappointment and frustration. In everyday conversations, whether in bustling cafes or university halls, discussions about America are often critical. There's a prevailing sense that the U.S. has stepped back from its role as a global leader, leaving allies like Sweden questioning the future of international cooperation. For American visitors, their nationality can spark debate and even discomfort, rather than the curiosity or admiration they might expect. Conversations can quickly turn to politics, climate, or social issues, making it clear that being American is now a topic of contention. Importantly, the Swedish perspective is rarely personal. It's less about individual Americans and more about a broader disagreement with the direction the United States is taking on the world stage. The 63% figure is more than just a number. It signals a deep and growing ideological divide between two nations that once saw themselves as close partners in shaping a better world. As a result, Sweden now stands high on our list of least welcoming countries for Americans, a reflection of shifting values and a call for renewed dialogue and understanding. In Germany, the United States was once seen as a steadfast and reliable partner, a country that shared not only economic interests, but also democratic values and a vision for a stable world order. For decades after World War II, the transatlantic bond was a cornerstone of German foreign policy, and American influence was largely viewed in a positive light. But today, that trust has eroded significantly. Recent surveys reveal that 56% of Germans now view the U.S. unfavorably, while only 16% still consider it a trustworthy ally. These numbers reflect a dramatic shift in public opinion, one that would have been almost unthinkable a generation ago. The reasons for this shift are complex. Trade disputes over tariffs and regulations have strained economic ties, while disagreements within NATO about defense spending and military commitments have led to public debates and political friction. Unpredictable U.S. foreign policies, sudden changes in leadership, and controversial decisions have only deepened German skepticism. For many Germans, reliability and consistency are highly valued in international relationships. Yet, recent U.S. actions are often perceived as erratic, transactional, and sometimes even dismissive of long-standing alliances. This perception has made it difficult for Germans to feel secure in their partnership with America. As a result, public discourse in Germany has become increasingly cautious and critical. Political concerns now overshadow cultural connections, and conversations about the U.S. are often tinged with skepticism and concern for the future. This trust deficit is not just a matter of perception, it has real-world consequences. It affects everything from trade negotiations and military cooperation to business investments and diplomatic engagement. The uncertainty makes it harder for both countries to work together on shared challenges. Germany's increasingly negative view of the U.S. is a stark reminder of how quickly alliances can falter when trust is lost. Approval ratings have dropped sharply, and the sense of partnership that once defined the relationship is now in question. The relationship between Germany and the United States is now at a crossroads. With trust worn away by political change and uncertainty, both nations must decide whether they can rebuild the foundation of their alliance or if the trust deficit will continue to widen. Across the Channel, the UK, America's closest ally, shows signs of strain. 53% of Britons now hold a negative view of the US. 41% believe America uses its power for bad, not good. Historical ties are overshadowed by present anxieties and policy disagreements. British public opinion is increasingly critical, with the special relationship under review. Trade and treaty disputes have created a sense of divergence. Institutional ties remain, but public sentiment is shifting. The cherished alliance is being fundamentally redefined. In Canada, the world's longest friendly border is now marked by tension. 63% of Canadians hold negative views of the U.S., a dramatic shift. Discontent spans the country, with travel boycotts and economic consequences. Trade disputes and diverging social values fuel the divide. Canadians increasingly see American values as alien. The relationship is now a matter of national identity. Canadians reinforce their own values in response to U.S. turbulence. The family next door is deeply concerned about its neighbor's path. In Hungary, 51% hold an unfavorable view of the U.S., a net negative perception. Hungary's nationalist politics and clashes with U.S. values drive this sentiment. The government frames America as an interfering force, amplified by state media. The negative view is about U.S. policy, not its people. National pride and suspicion of external influence shape public opinion. The unfavorable rating reflects resistance to perceived encroachment. Hungary's case shows negative sentiment can thrive in nationalist contexts. Disapproval here is rooted in internal politics and identity. In Pakistan, anti-Americanism is deeply entrenched. Up to 72% see the U.S. as an enemy, not just unfavorable. Decades of conflict, drone strikes, and perceived betrayals fuel resentment. The U.S. is seen as unreliable, engaging only when convenient. Civilian casualties and sovereignty violations are raw wounds. Cynicism is widespread. The relationship is transactional. Americans face suspicion, despite individual hospitality. In Pakistan, negativity toward the U.S. is a permanent feature. In China, the U.S. is viewed through a lens of rivalry and suspicion. 58% of Chinese hold unfavorable views, shaped by state media. Trade wars, Taiwan, and human rights disputes fuel negativity. The U.S. is depicted as a declining, chaotic power seeking to contain China. National pride and skepticism toward American intentions are pervasive. Personal hostility is rare, but political tension is undeniable. The unfavorable rating reflects a nation locked in strategic competition. In China, anti-Americanism is part of national identity. In Russia, anti-Americanism is state policy. 60% view the U.S. unfavorably, fueled by government narratives. The U.S. is cast as an aggressive, expansionist adversary. NATO expansion and support for Ukraine are seen as direct threats. Sanctions are framed as economic warfare against ordinary Russians. The government unites the public by positioning the U.S. as the enemy. Americans may find personal warmth, but political suspicion runs deep. In Russia, anti-Americanism is a tool of statecraft. In Belarus, 69% disapprove of the U.S., shaped by its alliance with Russia. State media mirrors Russian narratives, casting America as a hostile force. U.S. sanctions are portrayed as attacks on sovereignty and way of life. Information is tightly controlled, with little room for alternative views. The U.S. is synonymous with opposition and economic hardship. Anti-Americanism is not just opinion, but official policy. Belarus is one of the most challenging places for Americans in Europe. Its view of America is filtered entirely through its Russian alliance. Our journey reveals a fractured global view of America. Principled disappointment, deep resentment, and strategic rivalry. Where do you think Americans are most welcome? Let us know in the comments.